Oh Lord, my back. I'm going to have to cut my light out. So please bear with me. I'm going to drive. Y'all know I don't really sit down and sit in my car. Uh, I used to, but I really don't have to, and I have enough space and privacy and all that other good stuff. And so, um, I wanted to talk about letting you allowing people to move out of your life. Okay. Um, I always talk about the things that I asked God to do, and one of them was to ask. I asked God to move people who were not helping my life out of the way, and to let me be able to understand and leave them alone too. Now, everybody always talk about people who are toxic, and I told y'all, like, we don't take accountability of the toxic things that we used to do, and that's why we were connected to them. You know, but self-actualization and self-awareness will allow you to do just that. Will allow you to do that and break free from all of those toxic feelings and energies and everything else, you know. And so, um, with that, I had this individual, which I knew was toxic. I talked about this individual on my channel quite a bit, in different instances. But I knew it was going to be hard because I had allowed that connection to stay a little bit longer than it should, and I knew right off the bat that this person wasn't going to stay that long. Um, but I was just like, okay, well, still be a little nice to them, which you shouldn't. And so there, and so I ended up talking to them today. My phone kept dialing them. It kept dialing them. I didn't know why. I was like, is it just glitching and it's doing it? Sometimes my phone does that to certain people that'll be on my contact list for a good minute, or I talk to them a lot. And that person I did talk to a lot, but lately I hadn't been talking to them in a good minute. So that's why I was like, wow, it wasn't even at the top of the thing, and the phone is, calling it anyway. And so I had hung up or whatever, but they was trying to contact me back. So I was like, Belle, don't be rude. Like, even though you wasn't trying to call them, just check and see what they're doing. They're concerned about you. Be concerned about them. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So it's nice to stop at a stop sign. And so I get there. I mean, I call and I talk to this person, and they're like, oh yeah, well, we're getting turned up and we're doing this and we're doing that. And I'm like, okay, like, y'all acting like today is Sunday. Tomorrow's going to be Monday, the beginning of the week. You guys are not off. Neither one of them are not off on Monday or Tuesday or anything like that. So I'm just thinking like, okay, not to say that you got to wait all the way to the weekend to go have a good time and to go drink and to do whatever you want to do, because that's you. But I know how this person, first of all, they're not really too much of a drinker, but if they're around enough people who drink a lot, they will follow suit. They will follow suit. That's the same way if someone was smoking, they will follow suit. And so I was like, okay, so, asking them what else they want to do. Like, oh yeah, you want to come over because we're doing, and I'm like, no, I got to work tomorrow, and I need to be fully awake. And they're like, well, you'll be okay. And I'm sitting here like, how was that even possible? But I didn't explain to her. I just said, no, thanks, And I noticed the conversations that they were even talking about. I was just like, I wasn't interested in it anymore. I was not interested in it anymore, okay? And so I didn't want to say, oh, yeah, they're a bad influence on my life or anything like that, because I don't have to give them that opportunity to be. I don't have to give them that opportunity to be. Excuse me. However, what I have learned and known is that is that this pool, how do I want to say this? What I do want to know is that this place is, that space is no longer there for them, you know, and I don't have space for, they don't have space for me in the direction that I want to go, and I don't have space for them, you know, and I don't want to say them because it's only really one person, because I'm going in a different direction, and if I stay long enough around that environment, either I'm going to fall suit or it's going to slow me down. And more than not, it'll make you fall suit, because it'll make you fall back to the, and I talked about that earlier, about into the former you know. If I was in my early 20s or teens, okay, cool, whatever, you know, you're young, sometimes you're just going your young self. But being an adult and having things and doing things, it makes a difference. You want to go places. You want to have the trajectory of your life to be better. You gotta prepare. You gotta make things right. And so, I saw that and I was just like, okay, I don't think I want to be a part of that. So that's how I got to my conclusion. Allow people to move. That was a good exit. I didn't have to tell them I needed this or that. They were going in a different direction. I said, okay, afterwards I'll talk to you later. And they were okay with it, you know. They were okay with it. Why? Come on now, please get up off my butt. They were okay with it because they were getting fulfilled at what they were doing. You know, if I was to, you know, pull back before and nothing else was pulling at them, it would have been a lot of a hassle, but it's not. They're going in a direction that they want to go in, and I'm going in a direction that I want to go in. So now it's no hurt, no loss, no love loss or nothing like that. You just allowed them to move out of your life. And so I say that to say this: allow people to move out of your life. When you are making the changes, when you are going on your self-development journey, don't knock anyone else's, but allow, by your differences, by making decisions and choices, allow people to make their choices, and allow them to voluntarily move out of your life. Because, and when I say voluntary, I'm not saying that they can't come in once they move to still voluntary. It's not like that. But when we're living our life, you know, it's different phases. Sometimes we can meet later on in life and they change, or we change, or something like that. You never know. So, you know, keeping that open mind and being direct at what you want. That's what I will say. Be direct at what you want, because you'll never get whatever you don't be direct in. And work towards that. And that will help you be able to release people. Because it's not about harming or saying I'm better than. It's just making the right connections and making the right moves in order for your life to be better. That's even spiritually. Allow them to move. I remember every time I talk about God, this person would just laugh. You know, they were all into a lot of astrology, and you know, I told them about my past about astrology and stuff like that, and how some of the sciences that, you know, you learn very young and all that. But I saw that they were not connected to me when I talked about, you know, other things of the spirit, you know, talking about the truth. Yeah, this has shown me, like, just if you do what you need to do, then it'll fall back on its own. People will fall away on their own. So on that note, I'm going to get off of here. Hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem. Bye.